was sick like a week ago, and I know. Sorry, that's my stomach. I know what you're going through, and it sucks. It really does. I hated it. But luckily, I got better, and you will too. But I came to help, or try to help at least, and I brought you something. I brought you some warm milk. I know some people don't really, also look at the mug. Sorry. I know some people don't really like warm milk, but for me, it just helps so much in my opinion. And so I brought you this warm milk in case you want it. And I'll put it on like the bedside table, okay? I'm just gonna leave it right there. And I also brought this thing to test your, or to see your temperature. You mind if I sit down? Like, not on you, but like, can you move your legs a little bit? Thank you. Okay. So, I have this, temperature, checker, I don't know what they're called, thermoscan plus, to check your temperature. I know you have a fever. So sorry about my stomach, dude. I literally just ate like a little snack, and I'm like digesting or something. I don't freaking know. I don't know how to use this, to be honest, but I know you're supposed to put it in your ear because that's what like how it's been used on me. Pause. I don't know. So I know you're supposed to do that much, but I don't really know how this works. So yeah, it's clean. Don't worry, I cleaned it before, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, let me just. I'm guessing you just press this and like go like that and then press it. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. That didn't work. I think I figured it out. I'm just gonna go ahead and. Okay, it's not that bad, but you definitely have a fever. But yeah, just rest, I guess. I don't really have any tips or anything. Like, I mean, drink the milk that I brought to you. I don't freaking know. But it's not bad. I thought it was gonna be a lot. You were gonna be a lot hotter. I mean, you are. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding, but that was like a silly joke. Even though it's not a joke. But like, I'm trying to be. Anyways. Milk. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I also brought this book. Or this reading. I don't freaking know. It's Plato, the Symposium. I already read this, but I thought, it's a good read, and I'd love to read it to you. Help you relax, get your mind off things, maybe even bore you to sleep, hearing this, although it's not boring, or at least to me it isn't, but maybe to you it'll be like, I don't know, help you fall asleep or something. So I brought this, to read to you, but I don't know if you want me to. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm just gonna get on this side of the bed, and then I'll read it to you, because I don't want to, like, I'm literally not giving you any leg space right now, so I'll just get on that side, okay? Okay. Okay, so I have the book here. Just lay down, like you're already doing that, but like just stay there, okay? You can close your eyes. You can I don't know. I could just be background noise if you want. I'm just trying to, help you get your mind off things, maybe doze off or something. But yeah, we're gonna be reading this book, or I'm gonna be reading this book for you. It's obviously by Plato, as it says. And it's a symposium. I'll read the back for you really quickly. I've realized how great and wonderful a God love is, and how his power extends to all aspects of human and divine life. Also, I am not the greatest reader. I will mess up. Trust me. That's a promise. So yeah, I'm sorry about that, but yeah. That's just like the top. Let me read the rest. In the course of a lively drinking party, a group of Athenian intellectuals exchange views on eros or desire. From their conversations emerges a series of subtle reflections of gender roles, sex in society, and the subliminal of basic human instincts. The discussion culminates in a radical challenge to conventional views by Plato's mentor, Socrates, who advocates transcendence through spiritual love. I'm already messing up. The symposium is a deft interweaving. Oh my goodness, my glasses. I don't know what I was gonna say. I was gonna blame my glasses. Like, come on now. You just can't read, dude. Anyways, interweaving of different viewpoints and ideas about the nature of love as a response to beauty, a cosmic force, Jesus, a motive for social action, and as a means of ethical education. But yeah, I read this already. Really epicness. Very awesome sauce. I would say. And yeah, I think it was Socrates who said. I forgot what he said, but he said something like, "Great people discuss ideas. Mid people." He didn't say mid, but he said average. Average people discuss events, and I don't know if he said dumb, but around those lines, people discuss people or something like that. Anyways, I don't know why I brought that up. It's just a cool quote that I feel smart saying, like, oh yeah, I know that, you know what I mean? Anyways, let's start. I'm not gonna read it all to you, obviously, because first of all, I read so slow when I read out loud. When I read in my head, I'm fast, but out loud. So I'm not gonna read it all. I'm gonna read for maybe like 10 minutes or something. I don't freaking know. But yeah, I'm not gonna read the preface, preface or whatever. We're just gonna skip that part. And the introduction as well. Okay. Wait, this is still the introduction. Okay. The symposium. Apollodorus. This is him saying this. In fact, I'm well prepared to answer your question. As it happens, the other day I was going to the city from my home in Valerum, and someone I know spotted me from behind and called me from a distance. He said, with a playful urgency, "Hey, the man from Valerum, you I've just been looking for you to get the full story of the party at Agathon's when Socrates, Alcibiades, I do not know how to say any of their names, and the rest were there for dinner. What did they say in their speeches on love? I had a report from someone who got it from Philip's son, Phoenix. But he said you knew about it too. He wasn't able to give an exact report. Please give me your account. Socrates is your friend, and no one has a better right to report his conversations than you. But before you do, he added, tell me this. Were you at this party yourself or not? It certainly wasn't an exact report you were given, I replied. If you think this party was reason enough for me to be there. Yes, I did think that, he said. How could you think that? Glaucon. Don't you know that it's many years since Agathon stopped living in Athens? But it's not yet 3 years since I started to spend my time with Socrates and made it my job to find out what he says and does every day. Before then, I used to run around aimlessly. I thought I was doing something important, but really, I was in the most pathetic state, just like you. Burn, mic drop, literally. Just like you now, thinking that philosophy was the last thing I should be doing. Don't make fun of me, he said. Just tell me when this party took place. When you and I were still children, I said. And Agathon won the prize with his first tragedy. It was the day after he and his chorus held a sacrificial fest to celebrate the victory. So it really was a long time ago, he said. Who gave you your report? Was it Socrates himself? Where was I at? Certainly not, I said. It was the same person who told Phoenix. Someone called Aristodemus. Hopefully, I think I said that right. From Cydothenium, a little man who always went around barefoot. He was at the party because he was, I think, one of the people most in love with Socrates at the time. But, of course, I checked with Socrates afterwards. Some of the points he told me, and he confirmed Aristodemus' account. Come on, he said. Why don't you repeat this to me now? After all, walking on the road to the city gives us a good chance to talk and listen as we go along. So, as we walked along, this is what we talked about, and that's why, as I said at the start, I am well prepared. If I need to go through it for you as well, that's what I must do. In fact, whenever I discuss philosophy or listen to others doing so, I enjoy it enormously, quite apart from thinking it's doing me good. But when I hear other kinds of discussions, specifically the talk of rich businessmen like you, I get bored and I feel sorry for you and your friends because you think you're doing something important when you're not. Perhaps you regard me as a failure, and I think you're right, but I don't think you're a failure. I know you are. Damn. Another mic drop. This dude is ruthless. This guy's ruthless. Anyways. Companion. That's who's talking. Companion is talking. I don't know who Companion is. I think it's the guy that he's talking to. You're always the same, Apollo. You're always running down yourself and other people. You seem to believe that simply everyone is in a sad state except Socrates, beginning with yourself. How you ever got the nickname of the softy, I don't know. In your conversation, you're always just the same as you are now, savage in your attacks on yourself and everyone, except Socrates. Apollo. Well, my dear friend, it's quite obvious, is it? Well, my dear friend, it's quite obvious, is it, that if I take this view about myself and you, I'm raving mad. Question mark. Companion, it's not worth quarreling about this now, Apollo. Please, just do what I asked and tell me how the speeches went. Apollo, alright, they went something like this, but it would be better if I try to tell the story from the beginning, just as Aristodemus did. He said that he met Socrates. Would you just had a bath? He said he met Socrates, who just had a bath and put on sandals. Things he hardly ever did. He asked Socrates where he was going, looking so smart. Socrates replied, to dinner with Agathon. Yesterday I stayed away from his victory celebrations, avoiding the crowd, but I promised to join him today. That's why I'm smartening. I've smartened myself up so that I can look good when I go to the home of a good-looking man. But what about you? He asked. How would you feel about coming to dinner without an invitation? I'll do whatever you say. Aristodemus replied. Come with me then, Socrates said, so we can prove that proverb wrong and make it say, good men go uninvited to good men's banquets. Homer, after all, doesn't just prove the proverb wrong, but comes close to treating it with contempt. His Agamemnon is an exceptionally good fighter. Well, Menelaus, damn these names. I lost where it was. Is a soft spearman. But when Agamemnon sacrifices and holds a feast, he makes Menelaus, the inferior man, go uninvited to the banquet of a better man. What the frick does that mean? Aristodemus replied to this, but I'm afraid that I will also match Homer's description rather than yours, Socrates, and be the inferior man who goes uninvited to the banquet of a clever one. If you take me along, think about what excuses you'll give. I won't admit I've come uninvited. I'll say you've invited me. The two of us, going together on our way, he said, we'll work out what to say. Come on then. I don't freaking know. After this conversation, Aristodemus said they went off, but Socrates fell into his own private thought and kept dropping behind. As they went along, when Aristodemus stopped too, Socrates told him to go ahead. When Aristodemus reached Agathon's house, he found the door open and was caught in a ridiculous situation. One of the household slaves met him right away and took him to the room where the others were lying on their couches. As he found them, said, Aristotlemus, you've come at just the right time to have dinner with us. I've come for if you've come for any reason, put it off. If you've come for any other reason, put it off. I looked for you yesterday to invite you, but couldn't find you. But what about Socrates? Why haven't you brought him along? When he turned around, Artemis said, he saw Socrates wasn't following after all. He explained that Socrates had brought him along, and that he was coming to dinner at Socrates' invitation. I'm very glad you are, Agathon said. But where is he? He was behind me just now. I can't think where he must be. Go and look, slave, Agathon said, and bring Socrates here, and you, Aristotlemus, share Eryximachus' couch. A slave washed Aristotlemus' hands and feet so he could lie down. One of the other slaves came and said, Socrates is here. He's retreated into your neighbor's porch and is standing there and won't come in, although I've asked him to. That's odd, Agathon said. Go on asking him, and don't leave him alone. No, Aristotlemus said, leave him. This is one of his habits. Sometimes he goes off and stands still wherever he happens to be. He'll come soon, I'm sure. Don't bother him. Leave him alone. Well, if you think so, that's what we must do, Agathon said. Now, slaves, serve dinner to the rest of us. You generally serve whatever you like when nobody is supervising you. And I've never done that. On this occasion, treat me as your guest for dinner, as well as the others. Oh my goodness. And look after us in a way that will win our compliments. So they started having dinner, but Socrates still did not come in. Agathon kept on saying they should send for Socrates, but Aristotlemus wouldn't let him. In fact, Socrates came quite soon. He hadn't taken too long doing what he usually did. When they were about halfway through dinner, then Agathon, who had happened to be lying on his own at the bottom couch, said, Come and lie down beside me, Socrates, so that, by contact with you, I can share the piece of wisdom that came to you in the porch. It's clear you find what you were looking for and have it now. Otherwise, you wouldn't have stopped. Socrates sat down and said, How splendid it would be, Agathon, if wisdom was the sort of thing that could flow from the fuller to the emptier of us when we touched each other, like water, which flows through a piece of wool from a fuller cup to an emptier one. If wisdom is really like that, I regard it as a great privilege to share your couch. I expect to be filled up from the rich supply of fine wisdom. My wisdom is surely inferior, or rather questionable in its significance, like a dream, but yours is brilliant and has great potential for growth. Look at the way it has blazed out so fiercely when you're still young. It was on display the other day, with more than 30,000 Greeks there to see it. You're treating me with compliment, Agathon said. We'll argue for the rival claims to wisdom a bit later. And Dionysus